Good morning, students. In this video, we will study about the permanent tissue. So, in previous video, we had discussed about the meristematic tissue. So, in this video, we will discuss about the permanent tissue. So, in this slide, you can see that the different types of plant tissue is given. So, mainly plant tissue. It is divided into two different types: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. In previous video, we had discussed about the meristematic tissue. In this video, we will focus upon the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue are those plant tissue which have lost their ability to divide. So such type of plant tissue is known as permanent tissue. So these permanent tissue, they are further divided into simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. So this simple permanent tissue, it is further divided into parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So first of all, we'll start with a question that what happens to the cells formed by meristematic tissue. So the meristematic tissue, they will divide and they will give rise to new cells. So what will happen to those new cells? So they take up a specific role in the plant body and lose their ability to divide. So whatever new cells which will be formed by the meristematic activity of the meristematic tissue, so these new cells, they will take up a new role in the plant body and they will lost their ability to divide. So in this slide you can see that this is a meristematic cell, one of the cell from the meristematic tissue. So this meristematic cell, it will divide and it will give rise to two daughter cells. So out of these two daughter cell, one will keep the ability to divide and it will become the meristematic cell, and the other will become permanent cell. It will lost their ability to divide, and this meristematic cell, it will further divide and it will give rise to the daughter cell. So due to the activity of meristematic cells, so they forms a permanent tissue. So as a result, they form a permanent tissue. So this process of taking a permanent shape, size and function is called differentiation. So what is differentiation? How we can define differentiation? So the process by which the newly divided cells, they take up a permanent shape, size and function is known as differentiation. So there is difference between cell division and cell differentiation. In by the process of cell division, what will happen? One cell, it will divide to form two daughter cell. By the process of cell differentiation, what will happen? So these newly divided cell, they will take up a permanent shape, size and perform a particular function in plant body, and this process is known as differentiation. So differentiation leads to the development of various types of permanent tissue. So due to the process of differentiation, what will happen? Different types of permanent tissue, they will be formed in plant body, such as parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So these are the different permanent tissue which will be formed by the process of differentiation. Now we will discuss about the simple permanent tissue. So these permanent tissue, they are further divided into two categories: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. So mainly in this video we will focus upon the simple permanent tissue. Next video we will discuss about the complex permanent tissue. So permanent tissue, they are of two types. First is simple permanent tissue and second is complex permanent tissue. Now there are three different types of simple permanent tissue. So these simple permanent tissue, they are divided into three different types. First one is a parenchyma, second one is collenchyma, and third one is sclerenchyma. So one by one we will discuss. So first we will start with the parenchyma. So in which part of the plant body we can see the presence of these different types of simple permanent tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma? So answer is given here. A few layers of cells beneath the epidermis are generally simple permanent tissue. So if we'll cut the transverse section of a stem, then just few layers below the epidermis. So this outermost layer is in the epidermis. So it's few layers below the epidermis we can see the presence of simple permanent tissue. Means that parenchyma, collerenchyma, sclerenchyma, they will present below the epidermis layer. So now we'll start with the parenchyma. So parenchyma is the most common simple permanent tissue. It consists of relatively unspecialized cells with thin cell walls. They are living cells. They are usually loosely arranged. Thus, large space between cells are found in this tissue. So, this is the characteristic features of the cells of parenchymatous tissue is given. So, what will be the characteristic feature of cells which will group together to form parenchyma tissue? So, cells are unspecialized. So, this is the first important feature. Cell wall is very thin, so they possess very thin cell wall. They are living cells. They are usually loosely arranged, and large intercellular space will be present in such type of tissue, parenchymatous tissue. So these are the different characteristic features of the parenchymatous cells which will combine together to form parenchyma tissue. So this is the diagram of that parenchymatous cells which will group together to form parenchyma tissue. So cells are that loosely arranged, they have thin cell wall, and they are living cells, they are unspecialized. So this tissue, this parenchymatous tissue generally stores food. In some situations it contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis, and then it is called chlorenchyma. So in this slide it is given that what is the function of parenchymatous tissue. So the important function of parenchymatous tissue is to store food. So this is very important point. What is the function of parenchyma tissue? To stores food. But in some situation what happen? So these parenchymatous tissue, they contains chlorophyll pigment, and they start performing the photosynthesis, and such type of parenchymatous tissue which will possess chlorophyll pigment in them, such type of parenchymatous tissue is known as chlorenchyma. So this is very important. What is chlorenchyma? If the parenchyma will possess chlorophyll pigment, and they will help in process of photosynthesis, so such type of parenchyma is known as chlorenchyma. So in this diagram you can see that this parenchyma, this is the parenchymatous tissue. So due to some reason they will possess chlorophyll pigment, and they will become chlorenchyma. So from parenchyma, formation of chlorenchyma takes place. Now in aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma to help them float. Such a parenchyma type is called aerenchyma. Now in some aquatic plant what will happen? So the in some aquatic plant, so these parenchymatous tissue, they will transform into aerenchyma. So how the formation of aerenchyma takes place? So the cells of the parenchymatous tissue, they get loosely arranged, and due to the loosely arrangement of the cells, so formation of air cavity will takes place, and this air cavity which will help in the floating of that aquatic plant. So finally parenchymatous tissue, they are of two types. First one is chlorenchyma, and second one is aerenchyma. So this is the diagram of aerenchymatous tissue. So you can clearly see these air cavities. So how the formation of air cavity takes place? Due to the loosely arrangement of the cells of parenchymatous tissue. And in which type of plant we can see the presence of aerenchyma? So answer is aquatic plant. And these aerenchyma, they will help in the floating of plants. So I hope it is clear that. Now we'll come to the another type of simple permanent tissue, which is the collenchyma. So the flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue, and this is known as collenchyma. So what is the function of collenchyma? To provide flexibility to the plant body. So it allows bending of various parts of plant like tendrils and stems of climber without breaking. So this is the important function of that collenchyma. So these collenchymatous tissue, they provide flexibility to the plant body, and due to this flexibility the stem they will not able to break, and it is mainly found in the tendril part of the climber plant, and it is also seen in the climber plants, those who used to climb around any surface such as pumpkin, watermelon, money plant. These are all climber plants. It also provides mechanical support. We can find this tissue in leaf stalk below the epidermis. So this collenchyma, they also provide mechanical support to the plant body. And in which part of the plant body we can see the presence of collenchymatous tissue? So they are found in the leaf stalk, that petiole part of the leaf. We can see the presence of that collenchyma. The cells of this tissue are living, elongated and irregularly thickened at the corners. This is very little, there is very little intercellular space. Now in this slide, the characteristic feature of the collenchymatous tissue is given. So the cells which will combine together to form collenchyma tissue. So these cells, they are also living. The cells are elongated and irregular in size. They possess thickening at the corners. So at corners there will be thickenings will be present, and they possess a very little intercellular spaces. So this is the diagram of collenchymatous tissue. So at the corners you can see there are thickening, there is a deposition of lignin, and due to this deposition they, so question will simply come that what substance they remain deposited at the corners of collenchymatous tissue. So answer is lignin. Now we come to the another type of simple permanent tissue, which is the sclerenchyma. So this is the last type of simple permanent tissue, sclerenchyma. So yet another type of permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is the tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. So what is the function of sclerenchyma? To make the plant body hard and stiff. So we have seen the husk of a coconut. It is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. So this is very important question. So this is the husk of coconut. So question will come that name the simple permanent tissue which remain present in the husk of coconut. So answer will be sclerenchyma. Now what is the characteristic features of the cells which will present in the sclerenchymatous tissue? So the cells of this tissue are dead. So this is very important point. The cells of sclerenchymatous tissue, they are dead. They are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. Often these walls are so thick that there is no internal space inside the cell. So this is the two different types of sclerenchyma. So sclerenchymatous cells, they are elongated, they are dead in nature, they also possess deposition of lignin, and there are two different types of sclerenchyma, which is the fiber and sclerites. So this is all about the different types of simple permanent tissue. Try to revise it again, that what are the different types of simple permanent tissue. So there are three different types of simple permanent tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma and aerenchyma. These parenchyma, they perform the storage of, the function is the storage of food, and these parenchyma, they are further divided into chlorenchyma and aerenchyma. Second type of simple permanent tissue is collenchyma, which mainly provides flexibility to the plant body, and it remains present in the petiole or in young stem. In climber plant we can see the presence of collenchyma. And third type of simple permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It makes the plant body hard and stiff. It is mainly found in the husk of coconut, and there are two different types of sclerenchyma. First one is fiber and second one is sclerid. So this tissue is present in stem, around vascular bundles, in the veins of leaves and in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. It provides strength to the plant body. So this is the location of sclerenchymatous tissue. So this much only in this video. In next video we will discuss about the complex permanent tissue. Thank you. Have a nice day.